The tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. I tremble for my country when I reflect that God is just, that his justice cannot sleep forever. Honesty is the first chapter in the book of wisdom. I like the dreams of the future better than the history of the past. Nothing can stop a man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing on earth can help a man with the wrong mental attitude. In matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. Do you want to know who you are? Don't ask. Act. Action will delineate and define you. I have sworn upon the altar of God, eternal hostility against every form of tyranny over the mind of man. When angry, count to 10 before you speak. If very angry, count to 100. Rightful liberty is unobstructed action according to our will within limits drawn around us by the equal rights of others. I do not add within the limits of the law because law is often but the tyrant's will, and always so when it violates the rights of the individual. A Bill of Rights is what the people are entitled to against every government, and what no just government should refuse, or rest on inference. One man with courage is a majority. It is incumbent on every generation to pay its own debts as it owes, a principle which if acted on would save 1/2 the wars of the world. Mankind are more disposed to suffer, while evils are sufferable, than to right themselves by abolishing the forms to which they are accustomed. Merchants have no country. The mere spot they stand on does not constitute so strong an attachment as that from which they draw their gains. Fix reason firmly in her seat, and call to her tribunal every fact, every opinion. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason, than that of blindfolded fear. Nothing gives one person so much advantage over another as to remain always cool and unruffled under all circumstances. Educate and inform the whole mass of the people. They are the only sure reliance for the preservation of our liberty. I never considered a difference of opinion in politics, in religion, in philosophy, as cause for withdrawing from a friend. Were it left to me to decide whether we should have a government without newspapers, or newspapers without a government, I should not hesitate a moment to prefer the latter. Dependence begets subservience and venality, suffocates the germ of virtue, and prepares fit tools for the designs of ambition. He who knows nothing is closer to the truth than he whose mind is filled with falsehoods and errors. He who knows best knows how little he knows. It is error alone which needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself. But friendship is precious, not only in the shade, but in the sunshine of life, and thanks to a benevolent arrangement the greater part of life is sunshine. Do not bite at the bait of pleasure, till you know there is no hook beneath it. I would rather be exposed to the inconveniences attending too much liberty than those attending too small a degree of it. All, too, will bear in mind this sacred principle, that though the will of the majority is in all cases to prevail, the will to be rightful must be reasonable, that the minority possess their equal rights, which equal law must protect, and to violate would be oppression. A wise and frugal government, which shall restrain men from injuring one another, shall leave them otherwise free to regulate their own pursuits of industry and improvement, and shall not take from the mouth of labor the bread it has earned. Whenever the people are well informed, they can be trusted with their own government. The natural progress of things is for liberty to yield and government to gain ground. Timid men prefer the calm of despotism to the tempestuous sea of liberty. I believe that every human mind feels pleasure in doing good to another. Question with boldness even the existence of a God, because, if there be one, he must more approve of the homage of reason, than that of blindfolded fear. Never spend your money before you have earned it. The care of human life and happiness, and not their destruction, is the first and only object of good government. The man who reads nothing at all is better educated than the man who reads nothing but newspapers. Peace, commerce and honest friendship with all nations, entangling alliances with none. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Whenever you do a thing, act as if all the world were watching. When we get piled upon one another in large cities, as in Europe, we shall become as corrupt as Europe. Walking is the best possible exercise. Habituate yourself to walk very far. Commerce with all nations, alliance with none, should be your motto. How much pain they have caused us, the evils which have never happened. Experience hath shown, that even under the best forms of government those entrusted with power have, in time, and by slow operations, perverted it into tyranny. The most successful war seldom pays for its losses. If a nation expects to be ignorant and free, in a state of civilization, it expects what never was and never will be. It is neither wealth nor splendor, but tranquility and occupation which give you happiness. The God who gave us life, gave us liberty, at the same time. Leave all the afternoon for exercise and recreation, which are as necessary as reading. I will rather say, more necessary because health is worth more than learning. Sometimes it is said that man cannot be trusted with the government of himself. Can he, then, be trusted with the governments of others? Or have we found angels in the form of kings to govern him? Let history answer this question. I hope we shall crush in its birth the aristocracy of our moneyed corporations, which dare already to challenge our government to a trial by strength, and bid defiance to the laws of our country. No occupation is so delightful to me as the culture of the earth, and no culture comparable to that of the garden. Don't talk about what you have done or what you are going to do.